our letters and sort them out by date instead of by how often they've been read.
Let us give once again a warm welcome to all these traditional singers of India. As I already mentioned, they are the cultural pillars, even they are cultural ambassadors of our country.
Pablo Neruda was right in telling his poetic help Mario that a poem gets completed when people commit it to their memory. It has been happening so in our country since ages. The humble balladeers, such as the ones on stage from Rajasthan, have narrated their epic poems to people. In doing so, they enrich the content with their occasional comments too.
The evening winded up with an enchanting performance of Kabir singing by Meghwal singers, Meers by Kamart singers, Sufi by Magniyars and Langhars.
I think it's a very good initiative and very sincere and very well organized. It's a chance for people to interact with the Indian poetry, the culture of India, the many different voices you have here and the outside world doesn't know much about. So from one side, we are coming to India, but in the same time we are taking Indian culture back with us.
It is really a very well-organized festival. I participate in many festivals in the world, and it is one of the most organized with Medellin and Claudia. Very organized. Everybody is helping you. Everybody is welcomed you. Everything is generous. It's really India with all the color of generosity and nice food and nice people and nice weather and nice trees.
I think it's fantastic that poets have come from all over the world and can mingle with poets of India. I think the important thing is, you know, the dialogue that is created between poetry and friendships that are created between poetry. But the arrangements have been fantastic, and all the sessions I've heard so far were wonderful. It's really nice to hear poetry in different tongues, so the musicality of different languages is wonderful.
The seventh session began on Sunday morning with Jean Arasana Yagam from Sri Lanka in the chair and had readings by Richard Gwynne from the UK, Ranjit Hoskote from India, and Rajendra Mishra, also from India.
Reading bugs which, under the microscope, become grotesque and terrifying monsters. Dust that accumulates unnoticed and invisible until such time as it is noticed. And then you hear yourself observe that you had never realized quite how dusty this house was.
I'm going to read from two books. Vanishing Acts, which is the new and selected poems. Who can paint grass, the cannibal shade of hair? Who can paint water as if it were a leper scarved black? Who can sit back and with chill eyes condemn a table of drunks, chalking up the blessed and the damned? Who, slouching in doorways, can pluck every man's fate, just glares and louts? He can, whose gamester hand treats life as a shackle of terse hair around a wound.
This is a different age and time with symbols scattered everywhere and reminders of the cruel, poverty-ridden times. An old, white-haired, shaggy-headed man, bent with age, stands on a street in Athens, shabby and down at heel, holding out a battered cooking vessel for dropped coins.
The 8th session pre-lunch was again a panel discussion on poetry titled Time and Timelessness. Balachandra Nimade was in the chair and had Jean Arasana Yagam, K. Shivareddy and Shafi Shauk as the discussants, with audience interaction as a welcome addition.
I'll give you some examples. Samadhi, where Patanjali says, future and past fuse in the Samadhi. So time doesn't remain, and everyone experiences this.
That there is one protagonist, Gurujada's drama, Girisam, and who is identified now to all the politicians who have around us. And I think how he could visualize the future politicians in the character of what we say, Gurujada's characters, Girisam.
When we protest against recent social injustice, etc., in a very direct way, sometimes it's necessary as well, will they endure the test of time or become irrelevant?
It depends on how you look at the title, how you interpret it. I think I am unlike my friend Shafi Shauk. I am not defeated, I am not pessimistic. When I said a piece of creative work, I covered all the forms, It has a place, it has a time. My question is, if it is rooted in the place and if it captures the experience of the people in that locality, it is time bound. If it is authentic, as he said, if it is handed over properly by a gifted poet, it becomes applicable to the coming generation.
I've been here.
The 9th session had Tulsi Devasa from Nepal in the chair, with readings by Manda Kranta Sen, H.S. Shivaprakash and Najwan Darwish.
During that period, I have come in contact with a lot of very distinguished representative Indian intellectuals, creative writers, many professors.
No nante panta shesh, rannate phoron debo shad, kannate lobon ache, jolo ache, খুকি তুই রাঁধ ৩৬ ব্যঞ্জন তাতে ৩৬ রকম দুঃখ বিষ টক স্বপ্ন মিষ্টি হিংসে কম যেন না হয় দেখিস
ಕನಸು ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀಗ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಂದಿನ ನೋಟ ಕನಸು ಕಂಡಿದ್ದೀಗ ಕಣ್ಣು ಮುಂದಿನ ನೋಟ ಬಿದ್ದ ಮನೆ ಗೆದ್ದ ಲಿಕ್ಕಿದ್ದ ಕಂಬಗಳು ನವಣೆ ಹೊಲಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯ ಪಾಳು ನೆಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿದ್ದ ಮನೆಯ ಉಳಿದ ಕೊನೆಯ ಚಿನ್ನಗಳು.
رأيتهم يضعون خالاتي في أكياس بلاستيك سوداء، وفي زوايا الأكياس تتجمع دماؤهن الحارة، لكن أنا ليس لي خالات. عرفت أنهم قد قتلوا نتاشا ابنتي التي في الثالثة، لكن أنا ليس لي ابنة.
It was Sahitya Akademi who sent me, for instance, to Frankfurt. Similarly, poets have got the opportunity to be part of international events under the auspices of the Sahitya Akademi programs. But this particular event organized here in New Delhi is definitely of a great historical nature, and it is making history.
Hearing poetry from so many different traditions in India, I think this is something which many of us from other continents don't realize, that India really is a subcontinent, and that there are many, many traditions within it, tremendously rich traditions. It's a pleasure to encounter those, as well as poetry from all over the world. It is a great pleasure today to share it, and a great privilege indeed. And I wish the festival the very, very best for this year and for many years to come. The theme of oneness, it's so important, the way in which poetry unites what has been broken by so many other forces in the world. This is a great part of its work, and it has done so over the centuries. It will continue to do so, and I think the spirit behind this festival is very much, as far as I can see, the spirit of Tagore and the great spirit of pacifism as well, which India has given to the world.
It's very interesting to meet poets from all over the world. Today I've been listening to poets from Palestine, from Philippines, and also many from India and from Denmark. And it's wonderful to be surrounded by poetry from so many countries and in so many languages. So it's just, as a poet, it's just the best thing you can be a part of a festival like this.
This is one of the most beautiful world poetry festivals that I have attended so far. My experience being here and exchanging ideas and views and hearing, reciting poems by different poets of different parts of the world is not only enriching, not only just exchanging and sharing the poetic writing of experiences, but also to enlighten ourselves with the direct contact of the poets. That's one of the best things what I have seen so far.
You are exposed to many poets all over the world, and it has been very nice to be with poets inside the hall and outside the hall. As you know, poetry is the crown of literary expression, so it is really a wonder to have heard so many poets and be with poetry all these days. I hope this kind of week is held every now and then at Bharat Bhavan.
The last day of the festival began with a pleasing Mridangam recital by P. Jayabhaskar. The session was chaired by K. Shivareddy and had readings by Antonio Colinas, Gerard Noret, and Mangalesh Dabral.
In his poetry and the rare combination of classical and folkloric elements in his diction.
Escuchadme, Señor. De Madrid a Moscú he viajado en vano.
Giacomo Casanova accepts the position of librarian offered to him by Count Lorenstein in Bohemia. Listen to me, Lord. My limbs are sad. With the French Revolution, my friends are dying. Look at me. I have toured the countries of the world, the prisons of the world, the beds, the gardens, the seas, the convents, and I have seen my goodwill turned down. I was an abbot, within the walls of Rome, and it was beautiful being a soldier in the torrid nights in Corfu.
Il commente les nouvelles de la vallée, qui sont histoires d'argent et de filles, de moutons et de maquis. Bons ou cruels, les événements tentent comme des glaçons, tandis que les plus jeunes, le long du muret aux velléités de remparts, causent de seins, de chattes, de cul. Les amants.
The lovers.
Chaque matin, le
Each morning,
14:01 traverse
the
la cuisine,
7:01 a.m.
Lui,
nude crosses
tourne
the
les yeux
corridor.
afin de saisir
He from the
cet éclair.
kitchen turned his eyes in order to
Le
catch
prodige
this
accompli,
flash in
les
flight.
empreintes
The marvel
s'évaporant sur le
accomplished,
carrelage,
the footprints evaporating from
boit
the
son
tiles,
café
he drinks his
et n'a
coffee
aucun
and has
mal
no difficulty in
à
imagining
imaginer
Sisyphus happy.
heureux.
Donc the first poem is बची हुई जगह है. रोज कुछ भूलता कुछ खोता रहता हूँ. चश्मा कहाँ रख दिया है, कलम कहाँ खो गया है. अभी अभी नीला रंग देखा था, वह पता नहीं कहाँ चला गया. चिट्ठियों के